Friday morning, 6:02 a.m. Last night, I spent a couple of hours talking with my friend from Australia on the phone, and what we talked about was a lot of AI stuff. We talked a lot about Korea and how there is so much buzz over semiconductors and AI technologies and things like that. And those things in turn are driving the market here, the stock market, to all of these record highs and things like that. But the problem is you've got a couple of companies that are driving this, and the overall market itself is extremely weak at the moment. And that's very problematic. And I worry about that because, you have a lot of people, it seems these days, who are leveraging their homes and borrowing money and all kinds of things to throw into the stock market here. And I don't know. I worry about it. I worry about what's going to happen. I don't know if people are, I don't know if they're understanding what could happen. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I do worry about that. But anyway, we spent some time talking about that. And I also talked about how I'm not anti-AI or anything like that. I'm against it in some cases, in some circumstances, but I use it. And I was telling him one of the ways that I do use it, and we had a good laugh about it, and we talked about how, like, my usage of it is kind of one of those things that it may cost me $5, but if it goes wrong, but it's not going to cost me much more than that. And what we talked about was sometimes I'm very lazy when it comes to cooking, and I'm not always the most knowledgeable when it comes to cooking. So I will go to AI and I will type in, like, I have 1 pound of chicken, 2 onions, 1 bell pepper, 1 jalapeno pepper. I'll type in this list of what I have in my fridge and some spices that are in my pantry, and I will say, give me 5 quick, easy recipes for dinner tonight. And it will spit out 5 quick, easy recipes. And sometimes there are things that they are, recipes that I kind of know, or just something that I would do normally. But then sometimes there are things that I don't do. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I don't really think about putting that with that, or things like that. So that's my use of AI. Like, I sometimes use it to give me some recipes and things like that. Yesterday, I spent some time writing a Substack article, and that's one of the big things going on in Substack these days. The people having AI write their articles and things for them on Substack. And not just Substack, but everywhere it's happening. And, I don't do that. My stuff is written by me, typos and all the grammatical mistakes and everything. It's there. I wrote it. I didn't write a perfect piece, So I don't necessarily agree with AI writing everything for people and all of that. But I don't mind like asking it for some recipes and things. You know, or maybe even giving me a list. Sometimes I use it because I may be going to an area where I'm not all that familiar with, and I say, "Can you, look up and give me um, 5 places that may be of interest to me?" Things like that. Um, Essentially, I often use it more as just like a search engine than something that's actually generating something beyond some search results. Now, I'll say the search results aren't always reliable. That's that's a fact because I have done things that where I was like, okay, I'm going to search this and see what happens. Stuff that I knew, like some cold hard facts that I knew were true. And so you type it in and you search for it, and it spits out this whole long thing, and then you start looking and it's like, okay, well, that's not right, and that's not right, and that's not right. So, it's not always going to give you the correct results or things, when you use it as a search engine, but it can be useful for that, for sure. So, yeah, so anyway, that's just a little bit about what, I spent some time talking with my friend about yesterday, AI, and how I am worried about the direction of Korea pouring so much into it, and the overall weak economy and markets here. And yeah, I'm going to use AI to give me a chicken recipe tonight. So that's about all for today. Catch you next time. Peace.